Here we are at the wrench bench making some more progress on the XB2 build, the 2025 Carpet Edition. We're getting ready to install the rear shocks. I'm particularly interested because the carpet kit includes these shock mounting adapters, which I believe they started selling as an option for the 24 and now include it with the 25, which is a nice touch. I think more than anything, this allows the bottom of the shock to be mounted lower on the arm than what the holes in the arm would allow, but I have no experience with them at all. If you have any information to share on those or experience with those, then drop some information in the comment. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to do one side of these, one side for the shocks on camera, and then I'll do the other off camera. I suspect it might take a little while with so many parts and my not being familiar with them. And it looks like we're going to start out by mounting those aluminum adapters to the arms. And it's very clear in the instructions which direction those should go. So in this particular one, the arrow will be pointed towards the center of the car and the two smaller holes to the left, to the right, or toward the center of the car. And when we are looking at the arm on the car, the larger hole is going to go toward the outside. Sorry, I had the camera in totally the wrong spot there. I'm having a hard time. There we go. So once I get that screwed in, I can show you. Cameraman struggling. All right, so that's in the outside and goes in the outside-most hole. So that's what we're gonna do. Outside-most hole. And I'm not gonna tighten this down all the way because I wanna be able to move it around. All right. Now, I'm going to use this 8mm kind of stud screw, and that is going to go on the inside of that adapter into the second hole in the arm, second hole from the outside. Assuming that you just screw that in until it's flush. I don't know. Beats me. That's what we're gonna go with. All right, and then we're gonna tighten up that other screw as well. And it looks like doing so kind of cinched it down a little bit. Okay, so that's what we have in there right now. We're not seeing that at all, are we? There we go, that's a better view. Good. It's still a little bit loose, so I'm going to tighten that up a little more. There we go. Okay. And I can see where, if you look at the bottom of the car, where installing that does give you a lower mounting point for the shock than what would be available on the arm. Pretty clever solution. All right, so we've got that adapter in there. And then we're going to install this. And And let's see, the short side goes through the tower from the front. And it looks like the initial setting is to use the second hole down. So that's what we're gonna do. And just a lock nut on the back, no washer or anything. There we go. All right, so on the rear shock, the eccentric ball, that extra kind of washer type material, is going to go toward the front of the car. And again, I tend to mount mine with the bleeder screw toward the inside. That's going to mount with a 3mm screw. And since that's going into aluminum, I guess I'll throw a little thread lock on there. Never done that with a shock mount before, but first time for everything, I guess. All right, so that takes care of the mount on the arm. And then the top would go with the flat side, like a washer, toward that mount. That does spin my bleeder screw out, but that's all right. I can just flip that around later. All right, so we have one rear shock mounted, including that lowering adapter, which is pretty slick. All right, I'm going to do the other side off camera and then we'll move on.